career. Imagine this, a world where you could take your unique abilities and monetize them, like turn it into a career, a well-paying career. That's how you never work another day in your life. Forget about just passion. Yeah, passion's in there. That's why I said this is all about power, passion, and purpose. They all go hand in hand. But imagine you could take these superpowers and tie them in to your profession. So the power, the purpose, the potential, all goes in to your profession. Talk about unstoppable. Talk about limitless potential in your freedom, in your bank account, the amount that you can make, your revenue. Like, you will be unstoppable when you get, because you. What's up, freaks? Welcome to another episode of the Steve Eckert Show podcast. And today we are talking about your superhero, superpower abilities as a man and how to tie that into your potential, into your purpose, your freaking superpowers. We're going to dive deep into that on the Steve Eckert Show, which is a show on how to flip the switch and have a no excuses, badass mindset, guiding you to adapt, overcome, and destroy the obstacles that are preventing your success in your mindset, your family, your fitness, and your business, so you can stop being a little bitch, get your shit together, and start living life on your own freaking terms, all while you create your own personal ideal freedom lifestyle. And we are always talking about this show, how to weaponize everything. And today we're going to talk about weaponizing your superpowers. Because here's what men do in general. We get so caught up on the bad shit, the negative shit, the shit that we're struggling, the shit that we're stressing about, the shit that's going wrong, the bills you have to pay. We'll stress about a $500 bill, even though we just made $50,000 at an event. And we'll still stress that bill. Instead of giving some freaking credit to ourselves on our superpowers to be able to generate that kind of money or whatever it is. And we will stress the stupid little shit. And so I want to kind of flip the script this week and get you as a man, stop stressing you have weaknesses, but stop stressing and having anxiety and all this pressure on your weaknesses. Yes, you want to get better at your freaking weaknesses all the time. We always want to get even better. But what you should really be doing, 80% of your time should be spent in your zones of genius, on your superpowers, what makes you better and unique and different than anyone else. And then, 20% of the time is spent on working on those weaknesses to make you even better, because then those are going to support your superpowers and eventually turn those weaknesses into a freaking strength. And when we're talking about we're talking about power and passion and purpose. That's what this is about. Like, it's time for you as a man to give yourself some fucking credit, to acknowledge how much of a badass you are. And this is why every day on my journaling and in debriefs that I do with one-on-one coaching clients and the men that are in the Freak Father Alliance men's mentorship program, we have daily interaction and daily accountability drills in our private community. And we always start off, and even the kids do homeschooling. They do a daily debrief every day. It always starts off with gratitude and victories, to give yourself some fucking credit. Yeah, we get into the struggles and the things we need help with down the line on that after action review. But we start off with gratitude and victory so that you can ride that fucking wave of momentum and stop holding yourself back by just stressing about the one little thing that went wrong. Like, we could have 99 things go fucking right and perfect and in our favor, and we're on our, peak power, peak potential. And then one fucking thing goes wrong and we crumble under that pressure and get obsessed with that little thing. Meanwhile, all this other awesome shit's going on. So the strengths should lead the freaking way. That doesn't mean ignore your weaknesses and pretend they don't exist, but your weaknesses, probably either learn to elevate them, get better at them if you want to, or delegate them, or just fucking stop worrying about them, stop doing them altogether, depending on what it is, or if it's, if you're looking to get into something like coaching and your weakness is advertising, marketing, and sales, you better fucking get better at that. Yeah, you could hire people for that, but those are some high level skills you should know anyway. So there are certain weaknesses that you should get better at, but not obsess about them. We want to talk about the superpowers. So I want to ask you a question. And if you're watching this, you should pause this. This is going to be interactive right here. This is almost like an implementation workshop we're doing right now. I want you to think about, what are your personal superpowers? Like, what are your biggest strengths? Yeah, you could also talk about your weaknesses later and write those down so you can know what you need to work on. But right now, fuck that. We're talking about just the good stuff, just the positive, just the strengths. What are your superpowers? What are your God-given gifts, or what strengths and abilities did the universe give you? And then you work towards and developed and nurtured, of course. But what makes you, and on top of that, what makes you not just better, but what makes you different? And just a previous episode, when we were talking about Operation Black Site and the lessons learned, we kind of touched on this a good amount about the superpower of being yourself and how that's your ultimate differentiation between other companies and other people and other programs and whatever you're doing. Like, you are the differentiation. You are the unique selling proposition. Yourself. So what is it? What are your superpowers? And I want you to pause this right now, and I'm going to kind of dig into it to keep your mind rolling so you could think of how to write this down. And here's the fucked up part. When I ask men, and I've done this with thousands, probably tens of thousands of men, like in person at different workshops and events, and when I'm speaking up on stage, or when I'm traveling the country to do leadership and teamwork development with companies and their leadership teams, or just one-on-one coaching. And I'm asking men, what are your superpowers? What are your strengths? What do you do better than what separates you from every other fucking human on this planet? Like, what is different about you? What sets you apart? And you know what happens 90% of the freaking time? Pause, silence, uncertainty, hesitation. And it's fucking crazy that men don't even know themselves. They can't even know what their strengths are until you start asking more probing questions and dig it out. They can't just tell you, boom, who they are, what they stand for, what makes them different, what makes them better, what makes them their freak selves. And they can't even fucking tell you that. And it's a damn shame. You should be able to, on the spot, on the fly, go off on it for hours and hours about yourself, knowing who the fuck you are and what you stand for. What separates you from every other human on this damn planet? What's different about you? What sets you apart? What makes you different or weird or unique? Like, that's what you have to, I want you to pause right now and write that out about yourself. Like, what are your superpowers? And then, so I said, this is going to be like an implementation. I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions here today, and I want you to dive deep into these. And if you have to, you go and journal on them when you have a little more time. You can sit down and focus with a pad and a pen in a quiet place and just go deep and dark and internal on this shit. But why do you think these superpowers you have, and you could say, yeah, that maybe they weren't given to you, that you busted your ass and worked hard for them, but why do you think you have these abilities, these superpowers, these gifts, these talents? Like, why do you think you've been given these gifts by God or the universe or whoever, whatever you want to think? Like, why do you think you've been given these gifts? For what purpose? And how are you tying these superpowers, these areas of expertise, these zones of genius, how are you tying them into your regular life? Personally, professionally, how are you tying them to your career? Imagine this, a world where you could take your unique abilities and monetize them, like turn it into a career, a well-paying career. Imagine that shit. That's how you never work another day in your life. Forget about just passion. Yeah, passion's in there. That's why I said this is all about power, passion, and purpose. They all go hand in hand. But imagine you could take these superpowers and tie them in to your profession. So the power, the purpose, the potential, all goes in to your profession. Fuck, talk about unstoppable. Talk about limitless potential in your freedom, in your bank account, the amount that you can make, your revenue. Like, you will be unstoppable when you get, because you don't have a bad fucking day. So here's the next thing, not just why do you think you have these gifts and how are you using them to tie into your higher calling, to your purpose? I want to ask you, are you using these things regularly enough in life? Are you demonstrating these enough in life on a regular basis? And then, if not, why not? Like, what the fuck is holding you back? Why are you afraid to use your freaking God-given talents, abilities, and gifts and skills and superpowers? Why are you not using them enough? Why are you fucking holding back? What are you letting hold you back from using your freak potential superpowers? And all right, so are you using them enough in daily life, personally and professionally? Then if not, why not? What's holding you back? What's stopping you from using these? And then from there, all right, what ways can you demonstrate and weaponize these unique skills, gifts, abilities, and talent in your everyday life and business? How can you better use them? How can you demonstrate them? I'm talking on like a regular, every fucking day basis. Because if you're not intentionally using these powers, you're doing a disservice to your people, to your family, to your company, to your business that you work for, your career, to your fucking self, and to the universe. You are holding back your gifts and your fucking power to the universe. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's time to unleash the freak you, the unique freak you into the fucking universe. Inject that power into the universe. You're limiting your potential when you're not. So are you doing these things as well as you can? And are you making, and then on top of that, are you consciously making them even better regularly? That's what self-mastery is, getting better every fucking day. So you have these superpowers, these natural gifts and abilities that you've busted your ass and worked. Are you working to make them even better all the time? Because I'll tell you what, there's no man living who isn't capable of doing a fuck ton more than he thinks he can do. And I heard this one saying, I don't know who it's from. I can't always remember where quotes come from. I just know I hear them, you pick them up, they're in your brain somewhere. It said, your potential is God's gift to you, and what you do with it and how you use it is your gift back to God and the universe. Like, think about it. That's some deep shit right there. You're given the potential, but it's up to you to fulfill that potential. That's your gift back to the universe. You're given the gift of these superpowers that you fucking have. And you don't need to look that far. They're there. They're fucking there. Because we are all limitless potential. We've talked about one of my go-to phrases, one of my themes, which is even/yet. And that allows you to go from limited to limitless. A limited life to a limitless life when you think of even yet. And this ties into this superpower, this purpose, this passion, even in your profession. When you have limitless potential, when you put the word even in front of something, I can be an even better husband, even better father, even better man, entrepreneur, leader, human. I could get even stronger, even faster, even smarter, even wealthier. I could be even fucking happier. I could make an even bigger impact. Throw the word even in front of something, you are fucking limitless. And that's how when you can tie your superpowers into this stuff, it makes you freaking limitless, because you can always get even better. You can always build upon those superpowers. It's time to weaponize your superpowers. It's a superpower for a reason. It's meant to be demonstrated and used and weaponized and used as a tool and as a function. All the things that you're fascinated with and your natural inclinations and fucking obsessions, weaponize that shit. Imagine you could weaponize the weird shit about you. And I'm going to give some examples of that. Like how I've actually done that. Like I always say, I'm the asshole that everyone needs in their life. I'm the one, I just don't give a fuck. I've had a weird up and down life, and I really don't give a fuck. I can't be canceled because I don't care if I'm canceled or not. So I'm going to say not what people want to hear, but what they need to hear. And when they hear it, you know what? Some people will hate, but most can relate because that's the shit they need to fucking hear. And it clicks, and you're going to connect with your people. And that is a superpower of mine that allows me to then break the cycle of just not having positive male role models in my family tree. That makes me be able to positively influence the people in my family and the people in my circle and the people around me and in the community. And I have superpowers of operating with a way of not really taking shit personal. I'll have a sick sense of humor and make a joke of anything. On top of that, having a shitty childhood allows me to have the superpower of trying to give my kids an awesome freaking childhood. And as a kid, and usually you take your suffering and turn it into a superpower. As a kid, I was 2 years old. I didn't have a stroller since I was 2 years old. The thing broke down. We were walking to a store that was about 3 or 4 miles away. We just moved to a new place in Rockland County, New York. We're going to Caldor, which is now Walmart. And back then it was Caldor. We were walking there. We were about a quarter mile into the walk, not even, right by the Suffern police station. And the stroller broke. The wheel fell off. We ditched it, threw it in the garbage can, and I never had a stroller the rest of my life. So I had to walk, 2 years old, walk like 3-4 miles to the store, get whatever we got, carry the shit back at 2 years old. This gave me the superpower to just, I could walk, I could hike, I could go. We do 24-hour challenges now. It's a superpower to see things through to the end, to have the patience. I also was a loner when I was a kid. I had 0 friends. My brother left for the Marine Corps when I was 7 years old, and I only had 4 older sisters. Had a father never had a single conversation with me, never played catch with me or taught me how to ride a bike, nothing, never played video games with me, went out into hikes with me or workouts, nothing. So I was a loner. And that suffering of being a loner turned into a superpower of being a loner, that when I have 2 hours alone now, or a night in a hotel alone when I'm traveling, going to speak or coach companies around the country, it's a superpower. I'm on a plane alone, stuck in that metal capsule. I will come up with so much creative entrepreneurial shit and ideas and frameworks and courses and programs and fucking $1 million businesses and ideas. Like, that is a fucking superpower. Learn to turn your suffering into a superpower. That's how you fucking weaponize it. And I talk shit for a living. I'm the asshole everyone needs in their life. Those are superpowers of mine. I'm not afraid to say the shit that other people are afraid to say. And guess what? By going all in on who the fuck I am and what I stand for, allowed me to weaponize it. I use that in every freaking business I have. I'm literally paid to be that asshole because it's coming from a place to make people better, to bring that chaos to them, to learn how to deal with that chaos. In the project, that is my job, to bring chaos, external chaos and force and thunder and violence and negativity, to help men control their emotions, regulate their nervous system, not freak the fuck out, and deal with it, because the world is going to bring much more cruel chaos than we're doing there in a controlled environment. Like, that's my role there. And I'm able to, those are my superpowers. I can turn that on in an instant and be what's needed, be whatever's needed to help those men have a breakthrough, to break them down, to break through unapologetically. And then a week after that, we're going to do Operation Black Site, which I just talked about last week, an entire episode on that. Check it out. And the lessons learned there, and bringing that same authenticity, freak flow, unique freakness, that same asshole, that same one that you hate but can relate to, into that setting, which is very skill-based and tactical-based. Then go and fly into St. Louis, where we're in a real estate development company, $1 billion real estate development company, working on leadership, teamwork, communication, bringing that same unique freak flow into there, because that's what they need in that corporate world. They need that wake-up call. They need someone to come in and not be a yes man, and not be scared by power and authority and multiple $1 million mega companies, and it means nothing because it doesn't matter. I will go in there and do what needs to get done and be who I need to be. And I've learned to take the most, whatever that would look like, the most crazy superpowers that a man can have, and fucking weaponize them and literally make millions of dollars using these superpowers. That's the way I want you to think. No matter what your inclinations are, your obsessions are, your superpowers, your strong, your gifts, your skills, your abilities are, you can use them in your personal life, in your professional life, to make money, to build a business, to use in your career. Like, it is possible. And I'll tell you what, it's never too late. No matter how old you are, it is never too late to discover your calling. It's never too late to start this freaking process. With Robert Greene, in, what's the book? I have my books right here. In Mastery, in the book Mastery. I'm pretty sure it's from Mastery. He, and say what you want about his books. He that's his superpower. He writes in a different way that sounds very evil, very controversial, but it's to get your mind rolling, to see how humans work and how humans think, and different potential areas of human nature and of mastery. And what's the other one? Of war, the 33 strategies of war, the 48 laws of power. But I think in his book, Mastery, he said, at your birth, a seed is planted, and that seed is your uniqueness. And it wants to freaking grow. It wants to transform itself and flower up to its full potential because it has natural, assertive energy to it. And your life's task is to bring that seed to a flower, to express your uniqueness through your work. So as controversial as some of the books and things, you have to read behind the lines and really pick and pull all these things like that. Like that was from the book Mastery. Like that's taking your superpower and diving deep into it and learning to weaponize it and master it and use it. I've learned to weaponize my ability to just not give a fuck and be who I need to be to break through to these men. Because you know why? Because I didn't have that when I was a kid. And then when I finally broke the cycle, it's my duty and obligation, because that's what a fucking man does. Otherwise, he's just a little bitch, is makes the people around him better, protects those that can't protect themselves, doesn't make excuses, and has complete control of his circumstances. Like that's what a man does. And it's my job and part of my purpose and to use that superpower to help other men to break those cycles. And it starts inside yourself. It starts with like reconnecting with your, think about like what you used to do as a child, what you used to, the craziness that you probably naturally did as a kid before the world fucking poisoned you, or before the world told you to stop or said no, or said that's stupid. Like there's probably some clues in there about what your superpowers are. Like I literally, in most of the businesses that I'm a part of, I get to run around, make noise, have fun, be rowdy, talk shit, crack jokes, train, do hard shit, suffer together with the men, have breakthroughs, have transformations. Like it's like I'm a fucking kid. I'm damn near 50 years old, living out like a childhood fantasy almost, and getting fucking paid and paid ridiculously well for the things that I do, turning these crazy childhood inclinations and superpowers that were given as potential and watering those seeds to flower into a career and a lifestyle that feels like it's not even work. That's the deeper level of superpowers. Think about it. That's some powerful shit right there. And this stuff is already inside of you. This stuff is, listen to that voice, that inner gut, that inner feeling, and recognize what were those things that light you the fuck up that are inside you. Maybe something you used to love doing, or something when you're doing it, time just passes by. You get into that freak flow. That's where you're meant to be, man. That's where you are meant to fucking be. And you need to dig into that shit and water it and nurture it and fucking explode with that shit. Weaponize that shit. Violently execute on that shit until you can elevate it into what it's meant to fucking be in your higher calling and purpose as a freaking man. That's what these superpowers are. And you're lacking and you're not living up to your potential until you learn to weaponize these superpowers. I want you to think about this a lot deeper. You are doing a disservice if you are not fulfilling your potential as a man. You were given a potential by the universe, by God, whatever you want to think about. You are giving that potential, and it is your duty to give that gift back by fulfilling that potential in the freaking world. Whatever that unique freak superpower of yours is, that passion, that purpose, that higher calling, it is up to you to do it. And you know what? I said it in the Black Site, the Lessons from Black Site video. You need to create your own niche, your own category of man, of life, of business. Like I'm called upon from companies that want someone to come in and rattle the cage, to break through to their fucking people because no one else can do it. Their bosses can't do it. Their parents can do it. So they call in the freak, and I'm going to weaponize that freak ability to help them break through. I'm going to embrace my freakness and my strangeness. So you need to identify what makes you different. And take the strangeness, what makes you weird, what makes you different, what are those superpowers, what are your natural inclinations, and fuse that shit together and become this just freak anomaly that you are in a category of one that only you could be called upon when someone needs that specific type of freak. If I could weaponize this, like listen to this shit I'm telling you about myself. And if I could weaponize that, whatever your unique skills, abilities, and superpowers are, like mine are kind of fucked up. If I could find a way to monetize that shit and create a awesome fucking lifestyle and have an awesome family and relationships with my kids, no matter whatever your superpowers are, it is fucking possible. It's just if you're not, it's because you're making fucking excuses. Embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness and what makes you different. What makes you fucking feel alive? What lights a fire under your ass? You wake up in the morning, it just lights you the fuck up. It's not even work. It's not even play. It's just fucking life. It's just living. It's just your unique peak freak lifestyle. Think about that. And that just, when you live that way and think that way and operate that way according to this power and purpose and passion and fulfilling your potential, there are no more obstacles in your way. You've heard in Stoic philosophy, the obstacle is the way. Well, when you live this way, there are no obstacles. They just get run over because you're constantly just able to confront those limitations and those obstructions in your path. You can just crush through them and not run away from them, not be afraid of them, not fear them. And you can, it makes you better when you look for suffering, look for adversity. It helps you actually cultivate and elevate your superpowers even more. That's sometimes how you find your superpowers. You can feel it inside what your superpowers are, what you're naturally meant to do, what you feel like is your calling. But you know what? You can then, once you're in like tough situations and suffering and doing hard shit, that's what really shows you who the fuck you are, what you're made of, what you're capable of, what you're meant to do, how you're meant to operate. That's the ultimate freaking power right there. That's a freaking ultimate power. And then doing it unapologetically. Like, stop giving a fuck what people who don't matter think. I get haters by the thousands on the internet. But guess what? There's also the thousands that relate to it. And those are the ones I'm talking to. I don't have time for the fucking noise. I don't have time for the fucking haters and the websites out there that are literally, there's people whose career, somehow their superpower is going on the internet and just literally hating and talking shit about different people. Like, that's their career. I didn't even know how could that be a career? Like, literally there's hater careers out there. It's fucking wild. I don't have time for that shit. Go make your website. Go get some views for talking shit about me or the project or whatever influencer or celebrity or sales guru or whatever you want to go talk shit about everyone in the world. But if your life is built off you just talking shit about other people, what does that make? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, I guess that's your superpower, being a gossiping little bitch boy. But whatever, we're getting off track. Stop caring what people who don't matter think. And that's going to allow you to just embrace and go all in and be empowered by your unique freakness. Your superpower, its power, its passion, its purpose, its potential, living up to your freaking potential. That is your job. That is your mission and obligation, duty and obligation as a man. And embrace and even in some of that bullshit that happens, embrace some of those negative experiences and things that aren't going well and fuck ups and failures, because those are things that even shine even more light on what you're meant to do. They show you who you are, what you're made of, what you're capable of when you're dealing with hard shit. That's why intentional suffering, voluntary suffering, cultivating and manufacturing adversity is what it's all about. And that's how you end up even strengthening these superpowers or discovering these superpowers, discovering who the fuck you are, what you're made of, what your higher calling and superpower is. And as you're getting older and more experienced, taking all the skills that you've already learned and developed that you feel are already your strengths, because you might learn some new ones along the way. You're like, I'm fucking good at this and I like doing it. Like, fuck yeah. Find ways to then turn that into the direction of your true calling and combine that and merge that together into and monetize it, to weaponize it and then monetize it, turn it into a career, into a lifestyle. That's fucking living. That's living your ideal freedom lifestyle. When you can combine all that shit together, that's what we're talking about. That's what your superpower is. That's power, passion, purpose, and living up to your potential. And this is exactly what we dive deep into literally on a daily basis in the Freak Father Alliance, which is a men's mentorship group coaching program where I help on a daily basis. We have daily interaction. I help entrepreneur fathers and men develop a no excuses mindset so they can build more muscle, make more money, have more meaning, and attack their mission to create their ideal lifestyle, which gives them more time, freedom for their family and everything else that's important to them. That's what we do in the Freak Father Alliance. If you want information about that, just put a message down below and we will help you uncover, discover, and then cultivate and elevate your own personal superpowers as a man. So you can start living a life with passion, with purpose, with meaning, and start finally fulfilling your potential as a man. That's what this is about. It's time to weaponize your fucking superpower. Stop hiding out from it. Stop pretending it doesn't exist. You hide it in those dark corners because you think you're too afraid. Like, it's time to unleash the beast, to unleash the freak, live by this freak code, be your fucking self. That is the ultimate superpower you can have, is being the unique freak self that you are. That is the ultimate differentiation factor in success, in business, and in life, and as a man. So if you want some information, Freak Father Alliance, send me a message. I will hook you up. We will get connected and help you to build and cultivate this type of lifestyle and freedom that you're looking for yourself and for your family. Send me a message. We'll get you locked in. And we will see you next time on the Steve Eckert Show podcast. And in case no one told you yet today, you are fucking awesome. No excuses.